Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your 2023 Catalina 231 MKS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when you're parking on your campsite. I want you to think about your awning on your off campsite. Besides leaving room for your slide, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. They're going to be both in front of your tire on your driver's side of your tow vehicle, power and water connections. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, you're going to level your unit with this hand crank. To the left will take it down, to the right will bring it up. Go ahead and get your unit level. Once we're level, we'll stabilize it. 3/4 inch hand crank. I'm gonna recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are gonna protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and hot blacktops in the summer. Good investment. Grab a 4-pack of those and put these down underneath these. Now remember, our unit's already level. We're only gonna want to run these down until they're taut. So once you have, can use an impact driver or drill gun. Once you've got resistance on your hand crank here and it starts to feel like it's going to lift the unit, that's when you want to stop. Get all 4 of those down. You got your unit level and stable. We'll hook up our power and water. 30 amp cord here, plugs in the sides, little pistol grip. Put that in, turn it to the right, put your washer on there. At the end of that 30 amp service, should you need, there's a 30 to 15 amp reducer that comes to your convenience pack. Alright, get your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. At campsites, we're going to hook up to a city water connection. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in the unit. Always use these because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook that up. Hook up your hose. Don't turn your water on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Yours is located over on the campsite, just above your tires here. And all we're doing at this point, folks, is making sure our drain plug's back in there. Throw some plumber's tape around that, get that in there nice and snug, then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose has been on for a few minutes, go inside, open up your slide if you need to. Need you to get in there and open up your water lines. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Get all the air out of the lines. Once that's done, go ahead and shut them off. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go dry camping. In that case, we'll fill up our fresh water. That tank is over here, just above your storage on your off camp side. No need for a water pressure regulator here, so we gravity fill this with a hose. 2 ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right there. Or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of the black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Once that's full, go ahead and remove that hose. Put your cap back on here, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water. That's already pressurized. Alright, we're all set to camp with power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of your unit, continuing here on your off camp side. Big pass-through storage area here. Again, our freshwater drain. Here's where we'll dump our black and gray tanks. There's our black tank flush. We'll talk about that when dumping those. Again, city water connection. Low point drains. There's your power. On your slides, these slide wipers, they do have a fluid that you can apply to those to keep them nice and flexible. That's where you plug in your cable. Got a spare tire. I recommend trying to find a cover for that. That'll keep that from dry rotting on you. Do you have a prep for a backup camera? You can purchase a device that will attach to that. Another piece sets on the dash of your tow vehicle, giving you a backup camera on the unit. You've got your awning with your changeable lights. We've got a leash link over here. Coming down our campsite, got outdoor speakers, a vent for your indoor exhaust vent above your stove. This is a flue for your furnace. A couple things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you're running that, stay clear of it. It does get hot. Coming over to your hot water heater. If that doesn't seem to be working, come out here and look to see if either one of these resets are bubbled up. If they are, simply press them back in. It's an overheat reset. Right over here, cable and 110 if you want to hook up a TV out here. Again, your pass-through storage. Your propane does come with a regulator. If you lefty-loosey to open, point this toward the tank that you wish to be using. Check your battery post every now and then. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose going down the road. And then lastly is your battery disconnect. This would disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. But covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. One thing about these steps, I do want to mention, bringing them up or going in or out, you want to make sure this exterior door is all the way open, otherwise this is going to catch on this. Coming up in your unit, first thing I have to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Coming up here on the wall is our control panel. Up top so you can see the level of your tanks. That fresh one's the one I said to keep an eye on while you're filling it. The battery, here's where you can connect your phone to Bluetooth so you can do these slides and awning from your phone. Here's your interior and exterior lights. Here's the spot to turn on your water pump. Here's where you turn on your water heater. Down here, awning. On your awning, you're only going to want to run this awning, and it's a long one. You only want to run that out until you see your white flap fall down. Right there. And you can see your bar. If I were to hold that extension down, that would continue to run itself out and start to run itself up backwards onto itself. So keep an eye on it when you're running out. Only run it out as far as you need to. To the right of that would be slide control. We utilize that when bringing the slide back in. Down below here is a couple charging ports and a 110. As my awning comes in, grab my door and tell you that slam locks work best when gently slammed. Alright, over here we've got a little recliner, cup holder, or we'll jackknife down into a bed. .110's there. This table top will lift up off these legs. Remove your legs. Put the tabletop on this wooden lip here. Put some cushions from the back on top of that, and that'll make another sleeping area. You're all prepped for a TV here. Here's your backer. Just make sure that when you plug your TV in, if this green light is on, that's going to be your digital channel enhancer to help you pick up more channels. In other words, it's an antenna. Coming over here, let's go through our mode and let's crank the air up in here. Should get the AC going. There it is. Make sure you have a quick dump on these two. Open that up and blast the cold air down. Go into mode, go all the way around to off. See, it shuts off rather quickly. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to turn on your furnace. There's that kick on. Now you'll notice when I shut your furnace off, it's going to take a few minutes for that fan to cycle through before it actually physically shuts off. Down below that's our sound system, JBL, remote for it, indoor and outdoor speakers. There's my volume. Don't know if I'll pick up much inside this metal building. We can scan. Really nice sound system. Bluetooth compatible.
Photo showing abuse of detailing.
Take that off. Alright, down below this is your breaker box and fuses. A ton of 15s, a couple 40s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. This is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. It is 12 volts, which means it's always running off your battery. So if you do go dry camping somewhere, and you're not going to be at your trailer for the entire day, use that battery disconnect up front to keep this running your battery down while you're gone. The electric fridge, I just want to mention on this, this is your safety latch to keep this from opening while you're traveling. Self-explanatory microwave, light and fan above your cooktop. This glass top here. Turn on your panel light, turn this to high, hit your spark, and that's how those all light up. This turns on and off your fridge. So what this actually is, it's like a battery disconnect. It allows you to defrost your fridge without having to shut off all of your other appliances in the unit. There is your access panel to your water lines. Keep an eye on things, make sure nothing's wiggled loose. Especially if you travel a lot in this. Before going in the bathroom, smoke alarm here. We do have a hand crank open exhaust vent in here. 110 with GFCI reset. More plumbing to maintain. Shower. Bedroom. Charging ports. You got a backer for a TV over here as well. There's your 110 and cable for that connection. Show you this is your overhead light. Well, it does actually get a wall. And then you have storage underneath here with a safety lock box you can screw down. That about covers everything in here. I do want to mention that you want to have this door snap open for travel. Otherwise, it could be bouncing around while you're going down the road. I think that about covers everything. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I like to start shutting off all my lights moving forward. Snap that door open to make sure that vent's closed. Now we'll come back to the control panel and shut off my interior and exterior lights. Now that shows me any other lights that's on in here. Our little accent lights that I need to go through and shut off. Then I go back to my control panel and turn on my interior lights that say doors and drawers. Walk through your unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slide from coming in. And hit slide in. Then we walk through the unit, batten down all the hatches, moved anything that may wiggle and fall loose coming down the road. Once you hear that noise, you'll hear that whether the slide's going in or out. That's just the slide mechanism saying I'm all the way in. Alright, shut off my interior lights and exit the unit. Again, on these steps, just make sure this door is all the way open. Let's see how close that comes. These feet are also adjustable with a cotter pin to bring them up and down. This will lock that in there, turn it right or left, either way. Before you leave the dump station, and I say that because you're going to want to go inside and check the levels of your tanks as you're dumping, you're going to want to lock and deadbolt this door. Alright, if we are out dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Come over here, our freshwater drain, open that up. Hook up our hitch and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever you're in need of. If you're at a campsite, unhook your power, water, and cable. Hook up your hitch and head on up to the dump station. At the dump, parked accordingly. Your dump's going to be right in front of your tires on your off-camp side. 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up and pull your black handle. Once it sounds like it's no longer draining, check the level of your black tank on the inside. It shows empty or close to it. Come back out here. Leave that black handle open. Grab the hose at the dump station. Hook up to this tank flush. Again, emphasizing leaving that black handle open. Turn that hose on, let it run for a good 5 minutes. You're gonna wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose. Make sure all that washout you have put in there has drained. Then close your black and pull your gray handle. While my grays are draining, when I dump my low point drains, I'm going to come around to my hot water heater, especially if we're done camping for a while. We're going to lift up on this pressure release valve. Now be careful, there's going to be hot water in there. When that's done, push that back down, otherwise you won't be able to close your door. And then you can pull your drain plug down here for residual hot water. When your gray tanks are done, low points are done, we're going to close that up, grab your sewage hose, and conveniently, and more importantly, sanitarily, store your sewage hose right in your bumper. Great place for your stinky slinky. And head on home. Again, I thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Catalina for many years to come. Happy camping.